This short video is going to help you get started on assignment 5 on Grid World. And it's been a little bit since we worked on Grid World before the test. Hope you haven't forgotten it. So the goal for this assignment is you're going to make a pen of rocks. And you're going to do that by writing some methods that lay down a trail of rocks. And this pen, once it's set up, will contain the bug so it can't escape. And we are going to start, in case you've forgotten how to get Grid World going, you're going to first have to make sure you've installed and downloaded and installed the Grid World code. I've added a link on the website here. Just click on that. And I mean, if you've already got Grid World installed, then you don't have to do this. But I'm assuming that some of you haven't. So you want to download, extract it, put it somewhere you can refer to it later, like your desktop. And then you can download the assignment 5 download, extract that, and put that in your workspace. I will put that in my I'm going to rename this. This is the old one. And I'll put that in my 10A folder. Let's try that again. Okay, so in order to get Grid World running, you actually have to first download the Grid World package that I just showed you initially, and we have to actually add a path to that in the Library tab. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Tools, Preferences, and then Libraries, and assuming this one isn't there, you're going to add, and then you're going to navigate to where that Grid World code is that you just downloaded. So this is the one I just downloaded. This is gridworld.jar. And you're going to open that. You have to actually click on the jar file. And then that's it. You say OK. You'll have to restart BlueJ so it can actually pick that up. And once you do, you can compile it and run it, and you should get a sample setup like this. Well, we've actually solved part of the problem already by making a method to produce a vertical line of rocks. And this assignment is actually quite simple. You're just going to reproduce some of the code that's already given to you and make a few small changes. So the first thing we're asked to do is we've created the world, which is the whole grid. We've created a pebble and added that to the pebble, and we're showing you how you can move a pebble to a new location, and that location is 2, 2. So that's moving the pebble. I think I need to run this again so you can see it. That's moving the pebble so that it actually is right here. Row 2, starting at 0, 0, 1, 2. Column 2, 0, 1, 2. 2, 2 is where that pebble is. And if you see what happens when we add an object to the world, it kind of goes in a random place. So we create busy as a new bug. We add busy to the world. And this time, busy ended up over there on the right. Now we want to move busy to row 4, column 4, right in the center of this pen we're going to be building. So what we're going to do is we're going to say busy.move to, and then make a new location of 4, 4. And when you run that, you will see the bug now being right in the middle of the screen. And there it is. And it will always show up there every time. And we're also using this vertical line method, which is a recursive method, which lays down a trail of stones. And the way it actually works, and we actually tell how many stones we want. This is going to lay down 5 stones, starting at 6, 6, and moving up. And so what that means is this is 6, 6. This is starting at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's row 6. And this is column 6. So this is the first stone we add. And the way this method works, when you call this method, you have to give it the world, because it's going to actually add these stones to the world. You have to give it the starting location of where you want the first stone to be, and you have to give it the number of stones you want it to actually create. And it's recursive, so the way it works is if the number of rocks is bigger than 0, in other words, you want to do at least 1 or more rocks, then you create a new rock. We're just going to call it P for lack of a better name, and we're going to add P to the world, and then we're going to move P to a new location identified by that row and column of the first rock where it's supposed to go. And then we're going to use recursion to do what we just did, num rocks minus 1 times. So we're going to do this again. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the row now to go 1 higher. If we subtract 1 from the row, we're going to be row 5. So we'll be higher in height on our screen, but we're lower in rows. And that's how that works, the mapping of those numbers. So if we start our first call on row 6, 5, we're going to, after we do our first rock, 6, 6, we do our first rock at 6, 6, and then we say vertical rock line of world 5, 6, and we only do 4 rocks from there. And that makes 1 rock, puts it at 5, 6, and then calls vertical rock line again, and with 4, 6, and it only does 3 rocks from there. So this keeps repeating until we have this full line of rocks. It's sort of drawing a line for us. Crude little graphics thing. Now what we're asked to do here is add another vertical line of rocks. In this case, we already have a rock here. So we just need to add 4 rocks starting at 6, 2, row 6, column 2, and going up 4 rocks. You can do 5 if you want. You're just going to erase the rock you have there already. And so that's just another call to the vertical line rock line method, right? So we copy that, paste that there. We want to start at 6, 2, and we want to go up 4 rocks. That should be sufficient. Should probably change the comment so it reflects what this thing is doing. Okay, and when you run that again, you'll see now you have sort of like an H sort of happen in there. And all we need now to make the pen is to make another method that does a horizontal row of rocks. Of course, we could do these manually, but it's fun to make a method to do all that work for us. And that's basically the next step here. We've done all this stuff. And we've done the vertical round of rocks. We've done step 4, and now 5. This is actually telling you how that's all working. And we just did number 6. Now we have to add a new method called horizontal rock line, and it works just like vertical rock line, except it builds a row of rocks horizontally, starting at some row and column and moving the next rock to the left closer to 0 the same way. So start by copying the vertical rock line, change its name to horizontal rock line method, and modify the internal statements. And you are really close to finishing this whole assignment. So all we got to do is make a copy of this method right below it. We'll paste it. And we'll call this horiz rock line for a horizontal rock line. And it works just like the vertical rock line, except it builds a row of rocks horizontally. So you're going to have to change a little bit here to make it work right. For one thing, you got to make sure the recursive call calls the same method you're doing. But then if you don't change anything else, it's going to do a vertical line. So you have to figure out what you're going to change in this method so it actually moves the next rock one column over instead of one row over. It's a very small change. And then once you have that set up, you will make 2 calls to your horizontal rock line method to complete the box around the bug. And then when you run it, the bug will be trapped inside the pin. And if you want some extra credit, which is it's a really fun thing to do, you can extend the assignment. You can make a diagonal rock line, so you can draw diagonal lines. You can do all sorts of images. You can make a maze, so see if the bug can find its way out of the maze. That'd be really fun to do. And when you're finished with assignment 5, turn in your project folder the same way you normally do. Just go ahead and make a jar file and upload it. So have fun with that, and then we'll move on to the next one.